I still remember that night vividly. We were at my in-laws' house celebrating my wife Sarah's birthday. Our 8-year-old daughter Areeba shyly handed Sara a handmade card she'd spent hours creating. Before Sara could even react, her mother laughed sarcastically, saying, "Useless gifts from a useless child." Boy, the entire room erupted in laughter, including Sara. My chest tightened. Areeba's face went pale, her little hands trembling as she hid behind me. I looked at my wife, expecting her to defend our daughter. Instead, she smiled and said she needs to try harder next time. That moment broke something inside me. After that night, I couldn't look at Sara the same way. It wasn't just her silence, it was her cruelty. Areeba began withdrawing, refusing to talk, avoiding family dinners altogether. I tried confronting Sara, but she brushed me off, saying I was too sensitive. Then I started noticing other changes. Late night phone calls, constant texting, and unexplained absences. Every time I questioned her, she accused me of being insecure. Deep down, I knew something was wrong, but I kept holding on, hoping she'd change. I wanted to protect my daughter from more pain, but I had no idea how deep the betrayal went. One evening, Sara left her phone on the table and went to shower. A notification popped up. A message from someone saved as Faraz. My gut twisted. Against my better judgment, I unlocked her phone. The messages confirmed my worst fears. Intimate chats, hotel bookings, and promises to start a new life together. I felt my world collapsing around me. The same woman who laughed at our daughter was planning a future without us. But instead of exploding in anger, I stayed calm. That night, I hugged Areeba tighter than ever, silently vowing to protect her from all of this. I spent the next few weeks acting like nothing was wrong while collecting every bit of evidence. Screenshots of Sara's messages, bank statements showing secret transfers, and even photos from private meetups, all stored safely. Meanwhile, I started visiting lawyers, preparing for a divorce that would give me full custody of Areeba. I wasn't just leaving a cheating wife, I was rescuing my daughter from a toxic environment where she was constantly humiliated. I knew Sara's in-laws would side with her, but I didn't care. This wasn't about revenge yet, it was about survival, dignity, and protecting my child. One night, I finally confronted Sara. I laid out the evidence in front of her, every message, every picture, every secret transaction. She went pale, but quickly recovered, smirking and saying, "So what? Faraz treats me better than you ever did." My blood boiled, but I stayed calm. Then she said the one thing I'll never forget. "And honestly, Areeba's weakness comes from you, not me." That was it. I realized there was nothing left to save. I looked her in the eye and told her, "You've lost more than a husband tonight. You've lost a father for your child." The next morning, I packed my bags, took Areeba's hand, and walked out of that house without looking back. Sara screamed, her parents hurled insults, but I stayed silent. I rented a small apartment and started rebuilding from scratch. At night, Areeba would ask, "Papa, why doesn't Mama love me?" My heart shattered every time, but I promised her she was perfect and loved beyond measure. I focused on giving her stability, happiness, and a sense of security she had never felt before. Meanwhile, I continued my legal preparations quietly, knowing that the storm was yet to come. When I filed for divorce and full custody, Sara laughed in my face, confident her wealthy parents would back her up. But when I presented the evidence, in court, the affair, the neglect, the emotional abuse, the judge didn't hesitate. The STD reports I'd uncovered, the financial proof of her lies, and testimony from neighbors sealed the decision. I won full custody of Areeba. Sara was ordered to pay child support and received no share of my assets. Her arrogant smirk disappeared instantly. For the first time, I saw regret flicker in her eyes, but it was far too late. After the divorce, Faraz abandoned Sara when he learned she had no money, no assets, and a custody case against her. Her parents, humiliated by the court exposure, cut her off financially. Friends stopped answering her calls. She tried reaching out to me, begging for another chance, but I ignored her messages. Karma was working faster than I expected. The woman who once mocked our daughter and belittled me was now living in a rented room, working long hours just to survive. Meanwhile, Areeba and I were finally free, and for the first time in years, I saw her smile again. I devoted myself entirely to Areeba. We moved into a better home. I expanded my business, and I spent every possible moment making her feel loved and valued. Slowly, she began to heal, drawing, laughing, and making friends again. I started therapy to process my pain and ensure I wouldn't carry bitterness into the future. I met new people, made better friends, and built a life where my daughter was safe and cherished. Sara, meanwhile, watched from afar as our happiness grew. That was the real punishment, watching the family she destroyed thrive without her. It's been 2 years since I walked away. Today, Areeba is confident, bright, and thriving in school. Our bond is stronger than ever, built on unconditional love and trust. I don't hate Sara anymore. She's just a chapter I closed forever. My revenge wasn't loud, it was living well, giving my daughter the life she deserves, and proving we didn't need her toxicity to be happy. Sometimes, walking away is the most brutal revenge of all. Sara laughed when her family called our daughter useless. Now she's the one abandoned and forgotten. Revenge complete.